I don't know if we've explained the float fam thing, but I think we've used it a couple times. It's basically an acronym. Float is an acronym for lack of a title, which is the name of our podcast. If you didn't know, now you know. And fam is just short for family. I think it's like, makes us sound cool. I think that's what the cool people say is fam. I don't think I've ever used it sincerely, except for maybe now. But anyways, here up at the Wind Caves, you can see them right there in the background. I'm in Logan Canyon. Logan's back that way. Bear Lake is over that way, over the mountains, through the canyon. Just hiked up here. It's a nice, beautiful day. Anyways, this is my first vlog. I've got like 6 or 7% battery on my phone, so hopefully it doesn't die while I'm up here. Hopefully it doesn't die in the video. That's what I really care about. So I just want to share a quick few thoughts about criticism that's not really related to any episodes we've done, but it's just some thoughts I've been having today on this hike. And feel free to enjoy the views, it's what I'm up here for. Anyways, so we live in a world that's full of criticism, right? And I think we've touched on social media multiple times in our podcast. It's something that I enjoy, that's a part of my life. I like Twitter, I like Instagram, I like that stuff. But on Twitter especially, there's a lot of criticism, and people criticize people that they don't know. They criticize people that they do know. They say some really mean things to each other. Some of the criticism is honest criticism and it's constructive, but some of it's destructive, I would say, for lack of a better word. I don't know if that's the intent, but I think ultimately that's what it does to a lot of people. And I guess that's a thought that I had is, we all know those people who are so responsive or so sensitive or aware of criticism that it becomes debilitating for them. I think we've all been that person at one point in our life. I know I have. And there's also those people who don't seem to even be aware of it or don't care enough to really let it change what they're doing. And so I was just thinking about what the purpose is of criticism, and I don't know if you can see my face at this angle. I think the sun messes it up, but so anyways, I was just thinking about what the role criticism is that it plays. What role does it play in our life, and why is it important? And is it, how important really is it, I guess, is part of the question. Because I find, at least on Twitter, I don't really put myself out there very much, so I haven't experienced a lot of criticism directed at me personally, at least on, on that medium. But I've definitely had critics in life, and I think that even if you're not being called out for anything on Twitter or on social media, it's not hard to find maybe things that you agree with, or things that you're a part of, or things that you believe in to be criticized on social media, or just in the media in general. And that can be really hard because, that can be a big part of your life. Maybe people could be talking about your career. They might be saying bad things about your career, about what you want to do for a career. They could be saying bad things about your political beliefs. People could be criticizing any number of, any religion. Could be your religion. Who knows? Just about anything these days is fair game for criticism, right? But and it can be hard. It can be hard for me to know how to respond to some of this, because it gets really exhausting, and sometimes it wears me out. Even if it's not directed at me personally, it still can wear you out, and it still gets me down. If I listen too much to all the criticism in the world, it's discouraging for me, extremely discouraging. So I was just thinking about this on my hike up here, and thinking about what can I do to better respond to criticism, or how do I respond to criticism, and is it good or is it not? And it's hard to say which critics you should take seriously right off the bat. But I think that as I was walking up here and just thinking about life and asking these questions, I realized that, if there was never any criticism in the world, then the world would never get any better, right? It's the way things improve is by somebody saying, hey, what you're doing, you could be doing it a little bit better, or maybe you couldn't be doing it and things would be better. And then that change happens, and then life is better for people, right? And obviously some criticism is just destructive, but I think it's important that all of us find a balance between those two people who are, one's over aware and one's unaware. If we overreact to every piece of criticism that's ever aimed at us, we're never going to be happy. We're never going to be satisfied. we're not going to have any sense of self-worth, I don't think. We're going to be so worried about what others are saying about us that we're going to be trying to fix that, and we're never really going to be satisfied with ourselves. Sorry, the light's bad. And if we're unaware of criticism, then I think there's a chance that we're not going to be the person that we could be. I think we're going to live beneath our potential because we're going to miss out on opportunities to improve. And so as I was walking up here to these beautiful caves on this beautiful mountain, I just kind of thought to myself that, it's important to listen to people if they're being critical of you. And it's important to at least listen, right? And you don't have to listen to the whole thing, right? But I think it's important that we understand what somebody's motivation is when they're offering criticism, because and if we can identify that quickly, then that might maybe give us a better idea of if we actually want to hear what the criticism is itself. If somebody's criticizing us for something we've done just because they didn't like it, then depending on who they are to us, maybe we don't need to listen, right? And we don't need to worry about what they think. But if they're commenting on something we've done because they feel like it's something that maybe we could do better, or they feel like maybe we were being what's the word for this? Maybe we were unconscious of maybe a way that it was a bad thing for somebody else, or of negative effects it was having, then it's something that maybe we can question and realize, like, maybe I can change my behavior in some ways to make life better for others. So that's just an invitation I would invite you all to do is, if you feel yourself being worn down by criticism, and if you feel like there's just too much of it in the world, whether it's personal or not, just think about what people's motivations are for some of these things, and ask yourself, why are they doing this? And at least for me, it's helped me to decide who I should listen to and who I shouldn't listen to. Some people are worth listening to, and their words are worth thinking about, and some people, they're just wasting their breath, and, well, only if we don't listen to them, right? And so it's important that we don't listen to those people, because they're not going to help. They're not helping anything, and they're certainly not helping us if we're spending time thinking about what they're saying. So this might be too long. I'm not sure if this will ever get posted, but I think we're going for 5 minutes on these, and mine is 7, almost 8. So I'm going to peace out and go back down this mountain, and you guys take it easy.